Okay. Hello, everyone. SIYP podcast, uncensored, literally uncensored. Uh we got David and Hazel on the call. Rebecca's not with us today, but hello, everyone. And yeah, we're gonna dive straight into it. Last week, I wasn't able to do the call, and since I'm the one who manages the technical aspect of the podcast and everything, we weren't able to record the podcast. And yes, they were technical breakdowns, all completely responsible for that. So for the few listeners that listened to us that didn't hear from us, my fault over here. But anyway, how are we doing? Hi, David. How are you?
You're good. Oh, you're muted, David.
There we go. Yeah, I just downloaded the app for the Zoom. So yeah, no, I'm doing really awesome, and it's actually been a pretty calm week this week.
Been a calm week. Do you want to start us off since you are enjoying the best
Sure.
weather right now with your shirt off and all of that? Yeah.
Well, it is a little cool today. That's
I I
um,
I can't
but
hear
it's
you too well though, but
oh, okay. Is that better?
it's better, yeah.
Okay, so I'll just speak louder. Yeah. So this week I was really building up my business and making phone calls and just doing tons of networking groups and getting my system down pat. So I can just have the system running all the time, and I don't have to worry about getting clients because they're always just going to be there because I'm always just going to be communicating with people. So, and I've also noticed too. Oh, actually, the week before that, I did a money spell. Someone
You
told
did
me how to do a money spell.
you
A
did
money spell?
a money spell. Okay. Oh, please
Money
share.
spell.
Yeah. So she told me, she said, grab a candle, doesn't matter the color, put it on your hands, and under the candle, put a coin. So I did that, and then I put a quarter actually, and then you just call in money. It's just like I call in money, and it was interesting because I was drawn to say different words, so I started inviting money into my space, and then I was like, wait a minute, why am I inviting? Because that is like almost hoping that it comes into my space. So I started demanding it. I was like, money, I demand you to come into my space. And I just said that a few times. And as I was doing that, I was also um, boiling some water, which had some orange rind in it. And what else did I have in it? Cinnamon stick. And then I put some of the Florida water that I used. I put that in it as well. And I just let that boil while I'm actually doing it. So I had this blissful, there's this beautiful aroma. And then as I was calling money into me, and it was just really awesome. So,
Hmm.
and that actually really shifted the way I was this week, actually, because I had to be a person that money can flow into me. And it was
Hmm.
really accepting me as money. I am money. We are everything, aren't we?
Hmm. Interesting. So what showed up for you while you were doing this? Like what did it make possible for you other than the feeling and the self being like I see intentionality there. Uh, what else?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what else showed up from you being this thing?
Yeah. Also letting go because I've been carrying the coin with me as well for the entire week. So I've been babysitting it basically. And sometimes I get all panicky and I check my wallet and my pocket. I'm like, oh my goodness, is it still there? Did I lose it? Oh no, did I lose it? And then I just started to really even release that. It's just like, okay, well, I can trust that I'm going to be keeping it. And so it was letting go. So becoming the best version of myself. So I'm not trying to hold on and trying to hold on to it as tight as possible. I'm letting it sit in my pocket, and maybe it will fall out, and maybe it won't. But I have to be okay with either or.
Mhm.
and but I'm also caring for it. So it's for me to check up on her so I'm not getting empty.
Mhm.
What else would I be in the book? Because I don't have the list of stuff in front of me.
I just want to say one thing in regards to that about like keeping it in your wallet. I remember when I was in Paris 2024, um, I had like merchandise from the Olympics and everything, and there was this watch that was given to us as the volunteers. And other merchandise stuff that I wasn't using, I was selling, just to make some money on the side. And it wasn't something I did. It was a lot of volunteers did the same thing. And this Swatch watch that I sold, the person that I sold it to gave me dollars because they didn't have euro. And being in France and being in Greece and Italy, everything is euro, so it's just one currency. It's like really convenient. But this person gave me $120. And the $20, I think I spent it on beer or something in Paris. But the $100, because it was $100, the Benjamin, I kept it. It is the Benjamin, right? Yeah. I kept it in my wallet. And I was like, I'm going to keep it, but I'm not going to exchange it. I'm not going to sell it because I was proud and I was like, this is going to be the source of more money. Like, I'm not like, how can I save that money if I'm going to like convert it and spend it on garbage? I'm going to keep it in my wallet. And similar to what you're saying, David, it was just like I didn't highlight, I wasn't aware of everything like you're saying, which I feel would have been more powerful when I was going through it. But I always kept it in my wallet and I was like, there were so many times that I needed some cash. Like the $100 would be 80 euro, and I could do with that 80 euro. Like it's embarrassing to say, but that 80 euro at the end of the month would be like a lot. And I never touch it. I never touch it. I never touch it. I never touch it. Down to the point where I thought if I take it to an exchange place, this is the whole story I'm making in my head, that I saw like a little rip and I was like, oh, maybe the guy gave me fake money. Maybe it's fake. Like, I was scammed. And I'm living this whole thing. And I was like, if I go to an exchange center, they might think it's fake. They might think it's fraud. They might think, long story short, I was in Tulum with Rebecca, and it was a time where I could have like or I could do with additional money. And in Mexico they have pesos, but like they also accept dollars. And I was like, babe, we want to go see the sights and everything. Let's see if I can exchange this money because that exchange would be a lot in pesos for food and everything. So we go to this exchange center and I give them the $100 that has been in my wallet for like over 2 years. It's been in my wallet as it is. And I'm like, babe, like before we step in, I'm like, babe, maybe like the reputation between Mexico and the US, like this whole thing in my head. I'm like, they're not gonna accept it. It's gonna be crazy. They might arrest me. Like it was this whole thing. I give them the $100, and immediately they're like, they didn't check it under the ultraviolet or whatever. They just take it, and they're like, okay, that's like 300 something pesos here. And I take the cash and I walk out, and I'm like, okay, that was like it was good. And then we had a lovely trip. But I kind of relate to what you're saying, like keeping it in the wallet. Yes, I thought if someone steals my wallet, there goes my money. There goes, like I attached so much to it. So I completely get what you mean by being free from it, but respecting it, like honoring it at the same time. Like you don't need it, but you respect it. Yeah, you're on mute. I can't hear. But like, yeah, but like,
I said exactly. So and you even mentioned too, you was a detachment. So you detached. And it's also visioning because we're either visioning this awful thing happening with our money, or we're envisioning entrusting it, we are entrusted.
Mhm. The money spell sounds interesting. It may or may not be something I'm going to try out later on tonight, but I have a bunch of
But it
candles.
was it's really nice because in the shamanic training I actually went through, um, it, we are always told that healing happens in ceremony, and that's what you created. It's just a ceremony. So ceremony with the candles, so there's a light, something for us to focus on, and then we get this beautiful aroma, which is also it brings joy and wonder. So it's actually hitting this the visual sense, the our speaking sense, and our the sense of smell as well, and also the sense of touch we're getting. So we're actually doing that is just covering all the different senses.
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah. Anything else for
I'm
you?
I'm complete.
You are
No, I'm
complete.
complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Uh, so I'm going to go quickly into my share. The last 2 weeks, nothing really happened the week before that because the week before that was Catholic Easter, and I know, like for some of our viewers, there is just the one common Easter, which is like common. But here in Greece, they celebrate and they highlight more the Orthodox Easter, which is actually this weekend right now. So like last weekend and the week before, um, nothing really major started. Well, okay, uh, okay, well, basically, like 2 weeks ago. Um, we got some news about my grandmom not doing well. So the team of SIYP knows that ever since we did the SIYP intention and the program and the website and the class and the program, I lost my granddad. And I went through a lot where I detached and I was grateful and I forgave myself for whatever I created that I wasn't there for him. I couldn't go see him. I was in a not so great relationship, and I blamed myself that I invested more in my uh, girlfriend at the time. She doesn't deserve title partner like my fiance right now. But I invested more in my relationship than my family. So, all that I went through because my grandfather passed kind of showed up 2 weeks ago because my grandmother's not doing too well and she's in Canada also. So, all of this happened last week where it was more like it was more overwhelming because, I saw videos of my grandmom and she's not doing too well. She's 88, but just like every old figure in my family, like my dad, my grandfather. My grandmom has her stubborn, selfish sense too, like, no, don't take care of me. I don't need to eat. I'm full, and everyone's worried because she's not eating and she's losing weight and all of this showed up. So I realized in my state, if I went back into what I did when my granddad was not doing well, which was like self-blame, self-victimizing, self-everything, it doesn't serve me, and it absolutely does not serve my granddad, nor does it serve my grandmom right now. Like creating all of this in my space does not help me, nor does it help my grandmom go with whatever she's going through. I cannot be there for her, even though I can't be there physically. I can't be there for her if I'm in my state of, oh, I'm a bad grandchild. Oh, I wasn't there for your husband. And now it doesn't serve anyone. So it was interesting because while I was going through all of that, I started a new training at work in the project that I'm looking to leave and all of that. So I'm doing this thing at work, making myself available for the class, and then dealing with whatever energy the class is going through, dealing with whatever energy I'm going through, and then dealing with whatever energy my family's going through. So I think it was really great, and there was a lot of gratitude there because a lot of support for my fiance as well. Because while all of this was happening, yes, I was losing my shit left, right, and center. Um, but I didn't allow myself to be under the impact of the triggers, like whatever showed up. I didn't allow myself to be like, yeah, Zayshan, you're wrong. Or if this shows up in your class, like put more focus there. That there was a thing in class that happened last week that trickled over to this week. So with like my grandmom, I spoke to her. We had a funny conversation with my grandmom. It was just like, Grandmom, what are you doing in the hospital? She's like, I don't know. Like, it was a funny conversation, and we created how much I love her and I want to be there. And if I can, I would, but it didn't make me feel like I'm selfish and I'm not there for her. So that was powerful. And we arranged this week with my mom to go see her, to be with her mother and everything. So that's great. Like my salary came in, I could send money to my mom. That helps her go be with her mom. But something else that happened, so with the family, that's great. I could deal with my judgment and everything. But then something else that happened at work was while I'm going through all of this roller coaster, in the new training, it kind of was a conflict of interest because one of the people in the class is someone I know personally. And I thought because I know this person personally, it might backfire. But interestingly enough, for the first week, it didn't backfire. It was nice. It was beautiful. The person was like, "Oh, I love your fiance so much, and I'm so happy for you, and I'm happy you're my trainer, and this is good." And there were like some little breakdowns during the work, but it was good. It was beautiful. And I was like, I'm not going to allow myself to go into my judgment that I know this person before. So the conflict of interest and everything, don't overreact, don't overassume. Let it go. I detached. Like you remember, David, we were talking like detached, gave it up. So I gave it up. And what trickled into this week was in my work, in my field of work, I give a lot of analogies. I give a lot of like examples to tone down the technical terms to make it more easy to understand. So I give examples that people can relate with. And you know, like usually sometimes I could say between the three of us, like if the three of us don't agree with something, I could say, oh yeah, the three of us went to war. But that doesn't mean like it's literally war, right? And one of these analogies I said during work as a trainer really backfired because the analogy I said was received on a personal level. And the words I used came off as a personal uh, transmission compared to just an analogy that was a pure intention. So, because of all of this, uh, the person that took it in a personal approach kind of like all of this skyrocketed and it kind of ended up like I was intentionally trying to personally target that person in my analogy, and all of this blew up and all of this went into like higher reports. And it was so interesting because while I was going through this mix of assumptions, I thought that no one's going to defend me. Everyone's going to defend the other person. No one's going to listen to me. Everyone's just going to accuse me. I went into severe self-victimizing. And I was like, I don't need this right now because my grandmother's not doing well. I don't need this right now with my money, blah, blah, blah. And now I have someone else that's ruining my reputation. Like I created this whole thing in my head that no one's going to listen to me. No one's going to support me. No one. And while this all was happening, my team was actually very supportive, not because they just wanted to listen to me and defend me. It's because they understood outside of my judgment, they wanted to hear my side, they wanted to understand what happened. They were there for me. So there were so many times in the past that I felt my team wasn't supportive. So I came from that judgment. There was so much judgment these last 2 weeks. Uh, like I came from all of that, and it was beautiful because I could still detach from whatever was showing up. I could actually allow myself to be in the moment where the team reaching out to me was not because they had to, was because they wanted to, was because they are the team. And I mean, fast forward into everything, the outcomes of the whole escalation did not go the way I wanted to, but the way it went was perfect for me to be at peace. So it even demonstrated to me that, yes, from my ego or my pride, I wanted it to go way worse. I wanted, like to be an investigation and I was like, oh, I have witnesses because there were people in the class that, so like come at me. And then I was like, what am I doing? Like what am I doing? What is this? Like why why do I need an army if I didn't do anything wrong? If I build an army and everything, then I'm fueling into the non-existent, which is like I need all of this. And why am I pooping on myself? I went really hard on myself. I'm like, can I not say analogies anymore? Do I have to filter myself? And it was just so interesting. So like with all of this, yes, I've started to be more forgiving to myself, which is one of our elements. I've been more graceful to myself, and I'm just really grateful for like God, spirit, universe, self, to just be easy on myself because I can't be perfect. I'm not expected to be perfect. And if I fail because I'm not perfect, I don't need to demand the support of people. The support of people is just there. I cannot even allow them, like what you were saying, I can't allow money to be me if I'm just going to question it all the time. Wow, that's really great. Yeah, that was my week. I'm complete. I don't want to take up too much time, but yeah, I'm complete. Hazel.
I want to say I thought it was interesting that you had all that stuff going on in your head when you were not intending to target that person. So it also makes me wonder what was going on in the other person's head that they felt targeted.
I planned out a whole like pie chart in my head. I was like a detective. But then even when I was going through that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll pray for that person. My prayer was not even genuine. It came from ego. So I started realizing because I was like, I'll pray for you. You need blessing, you need God. But it's just like I'm not praying well in good faith. So, like, while I was going through what could the other person go through to come to this point, I was like, I'm not even going to fuel in too much there because it didn't lead me to a good place. So I was just like, whatever they're going through, they're going through. It has nothing to do with me. I'm detaching and I wish you the best. So I get where you're coming from, Hazel, but yeah, that was where I was finding myself too.
Yeah, no, for me it was just like a curiosity, that's all. Nothing else to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my week, or 2 weeks, it's been interesting at work because we had someone in my team resign. And, there was a lot of judgment for me there as well because the way they resigned, they were working on a project with another person, and because they resigned, then they had to, stop the project, right? And so, my judgment of that person was, oh, they left the other team member like high and dry, and that was like a jerk thing to do, and all this stuff was going on in my head, and then and then I let that go, and I was like, you know, it doesn't even matter what their intention was. The facts are this person resigned, and the facts are that the other team member working on the project can complete it on their own. So, why why am I, going after them in my mind, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so there was a lot of judgment there on that person. And then after I let it go, there was the forgiveness too, because I don't know what that person's going through. And maybe they did resigning was the best thing for that person. So, you know, yeah, I let that go. Let's see what else came up.
I just want to quickly say, I think it's
Oh,
really
yeah.
powerful to honor the judgment. Like,
Hmm.
because without the judgment, you wouldn't realize that you have to give up something. And then without giving up something, would you realize that you could just honestly serve that person by supporting them in their choice? So, like, if we look at the domino effect, the judgment in itself is beautiful because then that opened the possibility for you to realize that this doesn't serve you, let it go, and then do what serves them, but give yourself peace. So yeah.
Yeah, I will say though that when I first met this person, I there's something off about their energy and I didn't know what it was. And I couldn't put my finger on it because they were perfectly civil, perfectly nice to me. They didn't do anything that would cause me to feel that, right? That their
Hmm.
energy was off, right? And then so I never really got close to that person. Yeah. And then they did resign. So maybe I don't know, the universe was protecting me or something. I'm not sure what, but I'm not sure what to make of that sense that I had of their energy. Yes. I don't know if you have any ideas, David.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, David. For me, it's just like if there was nothing to make sense of it, there's nothing to make sense of it. But David, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally it is.
Mm,
So
okay.
so so
Could
you're
have
just
been.
feeling he was off. So oh,
Yeah.
so we all send energy out to the to out of our bodies, and we just don't
Mhm.
know we're sending it out. So that could just be it. He's just there's something unhealed within him that he's not
Mhm.
dealing with, and
Yeah.
that's why you're feeling a weird, very strange energy.
Okay.
Him or
And I
her,
thought
because
also,
we don't know who this person is, but yeah, just him or her.
yeah.
But yeah.
I also thought it could be like a mismatch in energy between my energy and his energy could be causing that too. That
Could be,
feeling.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like maybe you're feeling an entity around him as well, because
Mm,
some of us, a lot of us, carry entities with us, and that
yeah.
could be what it is. It maybe it felt uncomfortable with you because it could see the light, so
Yeah.
that could be it as well.
Oh, that reminds me, like, gratitude came up as well because this person got their bonus for the year, right? Uh, and he did. Sorry, it's okay. He did not show any gratitude for the bonus, and they were not even like, "Thank you for the bonus," right? They were just like, how does that compare to other people,
Hmm.
you know, at the same level? Yeah, so there's no gratitude there. So
But
and huh?
that's a judgment.
That
Yeah,
is a judgment. Yeah.
I
I mean,
know.
I was just like,
Now I
wait a
gotta
sec.
let that go.
I
And
I was
forgive
like,
them,
huh?
and forgive them for not having it. And
Right.
maybe there's somewhere in your life that you're not being grateful.
Yeah,
Mm.
like my curiosity in all of this is like by you sharing that, you said you felt grateful that the other person did not feel gratitude when they got their bonus. But you felt
Oh no,
so okay
I was grateful,
about your
that
bonus.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. But what's there for you? Just out of curiosity, because and I'm speaking for
Yeah,
myself here, like what happened with me and this person. Because we're
yeah.
all in the same project. And, just like you said, that when I met the person the first time, I was like, okay, you're in my space and I'm not getting a good alignment in our energy. It's just not matching. So I was a little bit off,
Mhm.
but I put that aside and I was like, I have an intention here. And then I was like, nothing's gonna happen. Like last week, it was beautiful. Everything was great. And then this week it flipped. And when it flipped, I was just like, yeah, I'm grateful for what I have. And when these people or this person is not grateful for what they have. And and that's another thing I had to give up because I'm like, why am I even going there in what this person's going through? Like what I was replying to you. It's just like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah,
So what was there anything there that maybe you have
yeah,
to, yeah.
yeah. Because yeah, it's a judgment that I have
Hmm.
that if people are not grateful, they're like jerks.
I don't know. I share that judgment. Yeah, but it's just a
Yeah.
judgment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And but the thing is, like David said, um, I don't know their side of the story. I don't know what they're going through. So yeah, it's a judgment. Big one.
And you're judging them from your high moral
Yeah.
standards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
wait, and you know
Yeah.
what's really great is like all of these words that I'm hearing us share about, I just want to like relate into this that we can talk about it freely because we are
Yeah.
creating that space for ourselves to share. And what really showed up in me letting that go with the rest of the class, yeah, there were some times with the rest of the class I'm like, team, you know what? I need to address this. And I apologize for my use of analogies because I was like, the problem is here. But David, what you're saying, it's like I think all of us in some form of the other have this high moral judgment. Like we know, like, oh, okay, you're a jerk because you're not grateful. But then who are we? You know, like it's really
Yeah.
great. And I think all of
Yeah.
us go through that. So
Yeah.
it all comes back to the circle where being aware of what we're judging, at least for us, because I don't want to think that I'm almighty and I know shit. I know what I
Yeah.
know best. Hazel, you know what
Yeah.
you know best. David, you know what you know
Yeah.
best, but that doesn't mean we know what everyone knows best.
Yeah.
So,
And also, like, I'm not perfect, there's nobody that's perfect, right? So I'm sure there's probably something I've done that people have judged me for. So
yeah.
A
so
hundred
yeah,
percent.
it's just funny.
It is
Yeah.
great. So I remember what David, I remember what you and I spoke about, like what was this 6 months ago or something. I was like, I want to be free from judging people. And and you were like, you cannot give up judgment. And I'm like, no, I will get there, but we can't. We cannot give up judgment. However, if we use the judgment to be like, okay, I'm judging this person. Does it serve me? Does it not serve me? Yeah, it serves my ego. Yeah, I like it, but it doesn't serve me and who I want to be. And I think putting that out with intentionality, like intention, putting that out in the universe that I don't want to be right. I don't want to be all high end and mighty. That's where I was like, because the being right was because I thought I wasn't worthy or like my opinion didn't matter. But giving that up showed me the support and like Hazel, probably in your aspect, like, yeah, welcome that judgment. Sit down and have a cup of tea with that judgment. But then when it's time to go, let it go. And you see all the rest just falls into place because you're getting what you intend, what you create, what you vision out for. And I think it's the same for David.
Yeah, no, I just think that I read somewhere, I can't remember where, that judgment does serve a purpose, but not in this situation. Like the article said that judgment is useful in situations where, like, say for example, you have to judge whether a situation is safe or not, like physically safe, right?
Hmm.
So it could be useful there, but not in the I guess it would be emotional sense of the situation with this person where I was judging them emotionally, and I would say that's intellectually too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then also knowing that even in judgments, in situations that can save us, like if you know something's hot, don't touch it. How would you know not to touch it if sometimes you did it? So, like, even in situations, it doesn't need to be black and white. Like, even in fight or fright mode, fright and fight
Like,
mode, flight,
yeah,
yeah, sorry, potato,
yeah.
potato. Okay, my English, no English. So-
Oh no, there's like the three, right?
But
Fright,
that is not a
flight, and
judgment. Actually, knowing that the stove is hot, so you don't touch it. That's not a judgment, though. That's a knowing. You know that it's hot.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Hmm.
then just because like I've been through something that I know is a fact does not make me go to other people and say, because my point of view is this, like you still want to welcome and acknowledge judgment, but not be fixed on judgment because I think everyone's entitled to their judgment. I get it. Like this person is entitled to what they felt I said made them feel. I get it. And I can be accountable and take responsibility about that. But then just because of that uh escalation and everything does not have anything to do with who I am unless I take it and I make it mean this is
Hmm.
who I am. That's where
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel judgment should be acknowledged, but not necessarily accepted.
Yeah. Not attached to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anything else for you,
Oh.
Hazel?
Um. No, that was really it because. Oh, David, you look like you're gonna say something.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to express that you look more joyous this week.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you have like it's more like this genuine joyous feeling you're coming out today.
Oh, nice. Yay.
And with that
Thank
I
you.
yeah, with that I also just want to say like I mean in the
Oh, we
three
have
of
less
us
than a minute.
we have less than a minute, but yeah, with that, I also did want to say, like, with the three of us and our calls and everything, like, for example, I did delay the call, and even though all of us can still be on the call and smile and talk about it, doesn't necessarily mean that I should let go of my accountability. So I think at the same time here, it's what we play our part in, and our intention and our communication does not mean like I need to see myself as a failure. So with all of this, it's just doing our part. Yeah.
And I forgive you for delaying the call.
Thank you.
Same
I'm
here. It was
teasing.
actually perfect because I was actually in the middle of my bicep
Oops.
workout, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to stop for this.
Oh, okay, so sorry about that, team. We were rudely disconnected by Zoom. We're on a budget, a very low budget. But yeah, no, with that saying, I think it's just really great to be aware. And I think that's our intention with SIYP. It's just to be aware of what is happening in the background, to make sense of what is happening in the background. But I don't think we ever set the intention to be like, oh, this is right and this is wrong.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything else for you, Hazel?
Um. Oh, I want to say about when you were delaying the call, I judged you, like really, really judged you. But then I remembered that I used to do that kind of thing too. Like I would really pack in as much as I could during a day before I had, let's say, an appointment or whatever.
Hmm.
And now I've just taken it a lot easier and I allocate like a lot of time to one thing so that I can really focus on whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like today, you know, today my time is for this, for the podcast. And everything else is just kind of floating around and it would be nice to do, but it's not like urgent. So yeah, and I feel a sense of like freedom and ease when I do that because then I'm not like rushing around and I don't feel hectic. And the type of person I am, I don't like to feel rushed and I don't like to feel hectic. So
I completely agree. Let's put it this way, and I'm gonna tell my fiance later on, so I'm not hiding anything, or she can listen to the podcast too. I A
mhm.
part of me judged my fiance for not being on the call.
Ah,
Like so the reason why the call was delayed is because we're house hunting and we're looking for a new place and we went and we had a plan. We had a beautiful day today, like breakfast, and we had a discussion on things going on with my family and other things at like work and finances and all of that. And we planned like, we go see this apartment. We come back home on time, 4:30 because it's 5 like here when we start the call and everything was set. And, just when we were walking home, She asked me, it's not that she just didn't want to be on the call. She asked me if it's okay she doesn't be on the call. And I was like, okay.
Mhm.
I did mention because we have our like chat communication before the call,
Mhm.
and when I let the team know that we would be delayed, Hazel, did share that, let's communicate about this. And immediately in my head,
Mhm.
I'm like, fuck, I messed up. And like, oh my God, like I have to say sorry now. Why do I have to say sorry? Why can't you? So like I think that's normal for all of us. And yes, there was a
Yeah.
part, but like even on the call,
Mhm.
SIYP's intention is not to use the tools we have to be righteous or whatever. It's just to understand,
Mhm.
and we know, and it's not something I'm gonna go to my fiance and be like, "Are you grateful? And do you forgive? Like, do I forgive you?" And no, it's it's just, and I think this also relates to what David was saying. Like, we just can allow ourselves and create ourselves in the moment to be happy, to detach from all of this
Mhm.
stuff. And
Mhm.
obviously, if there's a pattern, like with me and my fiance, or if I always break accountability with the team, that's something before anyone comes to me to tell me I'm wrong, that's something I should be aware of myself and correct for myself, right? Because at the end of the day, we're mirroring ourselves and other people. Um, so I think that just makes sense, like, how we can create ourselves to be happy, to be free, to be
Yeah.
detached.
Yeah. I just want to be clear though, I don't think anything bad of you, you
I know.
know, or Rebecca.
I
So
did that
that
for you.
yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah.
I
So
took care of that.
I just want to be clear in my communication where I was like, okay, because it was like I think it was like 15 minutes or so before we were supposed to go on, and you
Yeah.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
I judged you in that instant for sure.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
like even like it could have been like back and forth and everything, but what I'm proud of is it's not me allowing myself to not be accountable, or it's not taking away from both of you to share your point of view on what happened as a circumstance of
Mhm.
my action. And that's the thing. I feel like I wouldn't be allowing anyone in the team to step into their power if I'm just like, let it slide, like don't hold me accountable. I'm not holding myself accountable. And I think that's the same thing we both experience with the
Mhm.
external factors of the person at your job and the person at mine, where we're
Mhm.
like, you're a jerk and you're this and you're that. And
Yeah.
yeah, and then we just let it go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm
Yeah.
complete. Yeah.
Yep. I'm complete too.
Okay, awesome. Same time next week if it
Yes.
goes to schedule, or else you guys would be the first to know. Okay.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Hazel.
You too. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.